What's up, everybody? Welcome to Playing Dead, IGN's weekly Walking Dead show. And before we go any further, that means it's a spoiler-filled episode, spoiling everything up to and including episode 3 of The Walking Dead by Telltale. So you've had your chance. Thank you. Graham, Eric, thanks so much for coming.
Thank you, sir.
Now, you guys are directors. You direct these games, these Walking Dead episodes.
Indeed we do.
You did episode 3.
Yes.
You did episode 2.
Got it.
I love those episodes. I don't understand what a director does on them. Graham, please educate me.
Basically, a director is in charge of kind of overseeing the vision of, like, visually how the game is going to look, but also how it's going to play. Also making sure all the departments are working in sync with the idea that you have in your head.
Okay.
Eric, you've been director more than once, so maybe you can elaborate.
Everything you just said sounds easy. What it looks like and how it plays. Well, it's got they got black lines around their faces, kind of, and it looks like this, and then it plays with the buttons, and you say what you say.
Oops, nope. Those are we brought in Wolf Among Us characters. Nope.
Get me out of here. What are you doing?
That's basically it. Yeah. You just do that for 8 hours a day, and
it seems like it seems like it would be maddening. In the fact that like the whole point of The Walking Dead is your choices matter, and you're having these dialogues, and then it starts spiraling out. Trying to rein all that in and make sure it's on track. I don't know if I could do it, but I can't do much.
It is maddening, but it's wonderful at the same time. Yeah. Because you get to touch all the departments in the studio, and you get to see all of them working in tandem, and you get to see everything kind of leveling up. Yeah. Throughout the whole production, and then at the end, it just It's usually a little different than what you planned at the beginning, but it's always wonderful. So,
is that the surprise then? I mean, to you, Eric, of what it looks like on the end or whatever?
Yeah, because the thing about it that my kind of favorite part of the job, like you're saying, is getting to work with every other department. A lot of these people are doing jobs that I have no idea how to do. So, and I kind of feel like that ties into how I do my job. It's not me telling an animator how to animate. They're better at it than I am. It's more me just making sure everyone is going towards the same goal.
Gotcha.
And that all the work they're doing is in support of the same thing. And so because of that, these people often have great ideas, and so a lot of the surprises come from, oh hey, can you do this thing? Well, yeah, but what if we did it this way? Yours is better, let's do yours.
Yeah, for sure.
So I guess for like episode 3, which just happened, right? Mm-hmm. The writer sits there, writes the script, gives it to you, and then you start laying it out, storyboarding in your head. Is that how it works, or is that even simplifying it too much?
I think everybody works a little differently. Mm-hmm. For me, I worked closely with the lead cinematic artist, Scott Hammock, and we kind of created. We like to call them dev chores, and they're basically almost like animatics that we create for people, just to kind of guide them as to how the different scenes are going to work. And I have an artistic background, so I do thumbnails. I do a lot of writing of notes, and I also met a lot with Sean Ainsworth, the designer.
A hack.
Yeah, total hack.
Yeah.
He's in the room.
Oh shoot. Well, I just realized at home people are like, "Wow, there's being dicks to that."
I know, exactly. Sean was a cinematic artist before he moved into design, so I spent a lot of time talking with him about the visual look of the game and how he thought things should be.
So what does that mean? The visual look of the game, for the visual look of episode 3. What did you bring to that, or what does that mean to you?
It's a lot of pacing and composition, figuring out how through timing we're going to sell certain emotional moments in the game. It's also a lot of figuring out, hey, at this point we need the character to emote in a certain way with their facial expressions or with their body expressions. So it's a lot of figuring out those. So it's almost like movie making, but it's a little more involved since we have branching paths.
Sure.
So. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, I mean, we're getting in there. I think your job is a bit big.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
I mean, Eric, when you come at it, do you come at it as, we're talking about the way a character emotes, right? Directing a movie, right, you would tell actor A to give me more of this, do more of that. Is it that people are bringing you parts of the game, showing it to you, and you're like, well, I need Clem to do more of this or that?
It is, and we kind of get multiple chances to do that. The director is usually in the voice recording sessions, so we have a chance to work with
Oh,
that.
okay.
Ideally, it's the director and the writer, the person who put the words on the page and the person who's responsible for making it work on the screen, both working with the actor. So that's kind of the first chance to get the read the way you think it has to work. And then it's working with the animators to make sure that we have the faces doing what they need to do in that moment, and then working with our cinematic artists to be using those moods in the right moments and framing the shots the way that amp up the moment. And really got to get close in on Clementine here because this is the saddest part. So we're just really going to see her sad little eyes.
Yeah. Well, that's different. She wasn't sad at all in my game this time around. This is like the one where I was like, man, my Clementine is
general example,
borderline psychotic. I feel like all of a sudden, but that's a story for another time. Graham, you did episode 3. Eric, you did episode 2. How does that part of the relationship work? Are you already working on your episode while he's working on his, or is that possible?
Yeah. The episodes are kind of staggered. So I actually did work on episode 2 before I moved into directing. Well, while I was directing. So, but I made sure to know the story points and the key decision points of 2 as we were working into 3. And Sean and Pierre were both helpful in figuring out those, because they were kind of there working. They were there a little bit ahead of me.
Yeah.
So they were instrumental in like figuring out how they were going to sync together. So to answer your question, yeah, they were all kind of working at the same time. They stagger them in a way.
Do you guys like that? I mean, that's like Telltale's MO, right? I mean, doing all these episodic things, and then also, of course, it's not like you guys are like, we're the Walking Dead team. We're episode 3 Walking Dead team, you know what I mean? Like, again, it seems like it would be chaos, trying to keep it all straight, having Wolf Among Us influences stuff pop over.
Yeah, it's a little chaotic. There's a lot of, like, oh, man, we just changed that thing. Make sure we tell the episode 3 team, because that might have just undone their act 1. And,
right.
Yeah.
Sorry. But it also, I did just some cinematic work on episode 3 after I finished directing episode 2. So on the other hand, it gives us a chance to just be involved in a lot of different things, and not just, this is the only thing I do, and when I'm done doing it, I don't know what I do anymore.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. And we'll hit situations where we will say like, oh, we need to include this. Like, we forgot about that. And those moments are they can be really hard, but a lot of the time they give us, I think you said this before, they give you new ideas for things.
Sure.
And so I kind of look at it from that perspective, that it's just like a bridge to create something awesome.
I like how you said that.
Yeah.
Bridge to create something awesome. And this is, again, I'm just, I'm pressed up against the glass looking at you guys. Is there any ego to it, or did you have to get over that? The fact that I'm directing this episode, this is my thing, and then the next time you're coming around, now I'm just like helping out on cinematics or doing this, or... Are you ready? Are you ready to give up your ultimate godlike power as game director and go back to just hanging out?
Yes. Yeah. I mean, I think that I haven't really experienced anyone as a director at Telltale who has a huge ego.
I said, don't acknowledge it.
I know. But I think that everybody kind of understands that at Telltale, we have to work as a team, or else it won't work. So, and I found that even the directors that I've worked with, and this is my first time directing, so seeing it from my perspective too, everybody knows that they have to coordinate and they have to work as a team. So, like, there isn't really a place for big egos, and I don't feel like I had one, but I don't know.
Eric,
I hope not.
Well, I'm not going to say it while he's sitting here.
What? Nobody's not listening.
Thank you. No, I agree. Everyone at Telltale is working towards telling a good story and making a good game. It's not about making my thing and showing how smart I am. So, no, I don't feel like it's that much control to give up, because it's not about being in control in the first place. It's just having the opportunity to kind of steer the ship for a little while.
Gotcha. Okay, that's good. Because, I mean, it almost seems to me that, like, no matter how good you do on your episode, and maybe knock on wood, of course, the next one's going to be better, right? Like, in the way that, like, the more we get invested with the characters, the more fleshed out it all feels and gets. You know what I mean? Like, this episode when I was like, holy like Kenny's gonna make it. Kenny's actually doing like I was so sure they were gonna kill Kenny right away. Or you guys were gonna kill Kenny right away, right? But then to have it keep building and keep going, and suddenly like I want to know more about his girlfriend because I don't think she's gonna die immediately. You know what I mean? Like that the scene of them sitting on the campfire and talking and then working together, and then lady covered in dirt wants to start talking to me. Like, next time around, now those characters mean even more to me.
Yeah.
That's interesting. You're doing good stuff over there.
Thank you.
I like where your head's at. Episode 3 was great. Episode 2 you already know was great. I'm not going to keep telling you it was great. Episode 3 was fantastic.
Thank you.
I want to know what was your favorite moment from it?
Oh, man. Probably I can say spoilers on here.
100%.
You already predicated
it's too late for you.
Yeah, it's too late. I think that the herd just turned out fantastic at the end. Just the way that sound came together with the actual like action of walking through the zombies.
Yeah.
It really felt like a hearkening back to like the old Dawn of the Dead. That's the one with the mall, right?
Yeah.
Dawn of the Dead? Yeah. That's hearkening back to that where like the zombies are walking through the mall and you have like this weird, creepy like muzak going.
Yeah.
And I was really, really, really happy that we hit that note of the zombies walking around with the music and it just being like this crazy carnival of zombies.
Well, it was such a great juxtaposition, right? In the fact that there was this, there's like this frantic to get all the junk, the guts on you or whatever. Then the new guy pops up at the end. And it's like they're getting closer and like you don't know why isn't he freaking out more? And then it's this love, and then he gets his dick shot off. I was like, yeah, dynamite. Eric, your favorite moment from this episode?
My episode or his episode?
Well, let's do your episode. I never talked to you about your favorite moment in episode 2. What was your favorite episode 2 moment?
I think bringing back Kenny.
That was amazing. God, that was good.
The first shot where you see Kenny, getting to hug Kenny.
Yeah.
Hearing Kenny's voice again. And that was just a fun thing to work on. Gavin Hammond, who does the voice for Kenny.
I've heard of him once or twice. Yeah.
Good guy.
Yeah.
Does a great job with the character, and it was awesome to be in the studio with him again. So just kind of every step along the way of getting that character back in was really just
amazing.
Lost the word I was looking
for.
No,
it's great. You nailed it. No, I mean, it's the whole thing. And that's the thing for me, having him back, loving Kenny so much, to have him back and then have him be a badass this time around. So good.
Gavin is the best.
Yeah. Well, no, Kenny's the best. This is
Kenny's
Gavin fellow. I'm not
okay.
Guys, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, sir.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's how IGN's Playing Dead works. Every week we get together at 10:30 Pacific Standard Time every Saturday, talk to you about what happened in that Walking Dead. If you like it, make sure you share it with your friends and keep coming back to IGN.